This is Eddie checking in.
This is Gage checking in, and maybe you'll be able to hear the pre-podcast conversation if you give us $100. You want to hear it? Fine. We'll
Yeah.
turn on the audio for 100.
Ooh, yeah, that would be interesting.
But fuck Patreon. We'll give you our PayPal.
Ooh, yes.
Pay us both
Direct link to
100
PayPal. Yeah.
And no one wants to hear it anyways. But anyways, where you can find us for free is Facebook. Our Facebook group is going to be linked down below. I tried using hyperlinks on Anchor, and it did not carry over onto other sites because I tried listing our listings through like a hyperlink in the description. So from now on, I'm just going to include the entirety of the URL, just for safety. I'm sure on Anchor, if you're watching this on or listening to this on Anchor, you can click on the hyperlinks, but for other platforms, I don't believe that's the case. So you can find us on YouTube, Two Boys Podcast. You can also, I'm going to move this filter real quick. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram, both at Two Boys Podcast. And you can find myself on my personal Instagram at garbage man underscore man underscore Gage for all my thrift finds, flips and grinds. And Eddie can be found at Sir Fern on Instagram for all things furniture,
Thrifting.
design,
Yes.
other stuff. Dog.
Clover. Yeah.
Okay.
Do my 30-day challenge workout.
30-day challenge. Eddie is on what day?
Day 4.
Okay, but nobody gives a shit about that because what we're actually focusing on is our thrifting competition. That's right, folks. We're in the thick of it. We are currently 4 days into our competition, and obviously, Eddie's going to lose. And that's okay. We'll still be friends after that. I actually, kind of worried because...
It's gonna fucking dunk on you.
No, I'm just worried. I don't even know where to put all this cash that I'm going to have. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God. Okay,
pockets.
fuck off.
Eddie, can you tailor my pants to fit all this fucking bread real quick?
Let me make your pants into cargo pants for you.
Yeah, that's why he's cutting holes in my pants so I can't fit all this bread. He's hoping to just pick up all my...
Have you made any sales during the competition? Like, that actually applies?
Actually, no, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, I have.
But Eddie has
Yeah.
off of some free shit that he can't even talk about. So... That's
Just-
okay. You deal in the shadows, and
You know,
I'll
as
fucking
Jim-
live in the
as-
Lord's light. That's
exactly.
fine. That's okay by me.
I'm
Who
walking
found
the
Air
righteous
Max on the
path.
fucking shelf.
Oh, well, I got some. Well, your shoes are better than mine, but I did find some New
I'm gonna
Balance.
Photoshop those to look like
574s.
Skechers.
Fuck off.
I control this video.
Actually, you know what? Skechers are cool because they're in the dad shoes.
Yeah, good luck trying to flip Skechers.
Hey, the Asians will buy them.
Well, you know who else will buy it? Kim Kardashian. Remember those Skechers they released with the big
Did you actually see?
Bottom.
So for the new release of the Yeezy 500s, the Geode, Kanye and some friends actually set up lemonade stands selling the shoes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is he also forgetting that his wife was a sponsor for Skechers?
Everybody has their dark moments.
Do you remember that though?
You know what I'm really pissed
talking
about?
though? What are they called? Shape ups. The Skechers shape ups.
That actually fuck your back up.
Yeah, and they're like, it makes you have a giant butt. Not that it has anything to do with the fact that you went to a Malibu doctor to get your fucking fat injected in your butt. But it's the Skechers that made you look that way, Kim. All right.
Yeah. The one thing I have my big vice against Skechers is they did a One Piece collaboration set.
And why is that against? Oh, your vice? What do you mean? Like that you want them?
No, I don't want
They
them.
fucked them up.
Well, I wish the collab was not done with Skechers because I don't wear Skechers. I don't like Skechers.
Didn't you just say the Skechers are cool now? Like
No, I said they're in
someone's
the
changing their
scene. I
story.
said they're in the scene.
Eddie
okay?
is a scene phase, I think.
I
Eddie's going
know.
through a scene phase.
Okay, you're definitely twisting my words. They're culturally popular
Yeah,
because they have that dad shoe aesthetic.
but
that
you're not a dad, so
clunkiness.
that's actually cultural appropriation.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a. Well, I'm technically a dad with Clover.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, but they did a collaboration with.
I'm sorry, man. I just
The One Piece.
keep
Gage.
talking.
Gage
I'm gonna cut the
doesn't-
audio out on mine right now because
Yeah.
it's being a fucking bitch.
But yeah, but anyways, they did a collaboration with fuck, I'm like forgetting the creator's name. Oda. Boom. From One Piece. He's the creator of One Piece. But yeah, they did a collaboration and they did 4 pairs of shoes, one for Luffy, Nami, Sanji, and I want to say Chopper. Those 4. Yeah. But they're only selling them in London, so I can't. Even if I wanted to get them, I couldn't get them. But again, I don't like Skechers, so like
Okay.
it was a collab well wasted.
All right. Sorry. Pardon the sound thing. I'm gonna try to edit
Oh,
out that
anybody going to
channel.
Anime Boston? I'm gonna be at Anime Boston. Also PAX this week. I'm going Thursday and Friday. So if you see me, I'm not gonna thrift anything or try to find anything to thrift at those places because unless they're like limited edition, like win collectible type things,
Yeah.
which even again it's kind of hard to do. But
Oh. I thought I had a text. It was just a weeb alert. But, anyways.
wow.
I've been watching a lot of like compilations of Brian Callen and Chris D'Elia like roasting each other, so I'm like in that playful spirit of taking down Eddie.
Okay, you're not gonna
Down.
win, dude. Chill out.
It's okay. I'm
I
a
was gonna
winner.
be super humble about it. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna take my opportunities as they come, dude. Like I'm not literally.
Usually
people,
humble
people are
people
just
don't say
giving
that
me
they're
stuff
humble.
out of nowhere. But like people,
Yeah.
like, oh, you want this? Yeah, sure. Like I'll
Eddie
take
really
it off your
needs
hands.
it. I think the
Wow.
Eddie to help the charity to help Eddie become a winner. I think it's cute. But
You know what they say? Jim Rohn has a good line. When you go looking for answers, they just come to you.
sure. Tell that to my SAT score. Anyways, so
Today on
87th percentile. No big
yeah.
deal. But I went to a math and science school and I fucking almost flunked the math part of the SATs. But I went to a liberal arts school, so
Oh,
they don't care about
yeah,
test
exactly.
scores.
Well, as they shouldn't.
And then I flipped that education into BU. Catch me.
Catch me outside.
Yeah. So we started the competition, and even if Eddie loses, which he will, but it's still fun. And I think that's all that matters, really.
Like I hope you like. Can you pan in my face because
I will. I don't know. I mean, genuine though, like for real, it actually is. It is fun to have this competition. I like to have that little fire under my butt, and it it makes it a lot more fun when we actually go to the store that we go to, or when we shop around. It's fun. It makes it a little bit more exciting because competition breeds innovation and excitement.
capitalism,
Yeah, capitalism. We wouldn't have this competition in a communist nation. I can tell you that
right?
much. I'll tell you back in then. But yeah. What today we're gonna talk about the fact that Gage sucked his teeth right into a microphone. That probably didn't sound good. What are we gonna talk about today?
I'm still like holding on to the philosophy of thrifting.
Let's go into it, bud.
Like I can't even think of anything correctly about the philosophy.
Let's not get into
I just
it, bud.
I came from the gym not too long ago, so I'm kind of like worn out.
How about growing the fuck up?
Growing
Because
the fuck up.
Gage gotta
Oh,
grow
actually-
the fuck up soon.
Actually, the conversation I had with this guy who came, IT guy who came to fix one of our iPads
Mm-hmm.
for work. I can't say specifically at our large chain coffee shop, and
Founded in the Pacific
it's
Northwest.
really interesting. Okay, so like I like to listen to motivational videos, and like I found a podcast that like started to rip them off of YouTube and put them on there, so now I don't have to like listen on YouTube and like put it in my pocket, so I can just listen to it just as I pass on the day. But anyways, I've been like listening to Jim Rohn stuff, right? And he was talking about don't wish that you were smarter, wish for more skills, don't wish for more money, wish for more opportunity, kind of thing. And it's really interesting because now I just like talk to people just like with Ken, or not Ken, sorry, about the chairs. I didn't even remotely like ask him about the chairs. We were just talking in conversation, and then like upholstery came up, and then he was like, oh, like I need some chairs to be reupholstered, like can you do them for me? I was like, yeah. Well, I said I would think about it. I haven't seen him since. but with the IT guy, his name is Simi, really nice guy. Literally we got into the conversation of like what we want to do with our lives. He's older than me, so he's like already figured out what he wants to do, and he's doing it, which is really good on him. But I was talking to one of my partners in Spanish, and he was like, oh, like like where'd you learn Spanish? He was like, oh, like I'm Dominican. And he was like, oh, like my wife's Puerto Rican, and like I came from Miami and blah blah blah. And then I was saying, like, yeah, like I actually practice it a lot. Like my Spanish isn't perfect, but I'm getting there. And so I was saying how I was like, yeah, like at my second job, we actually have a lot of Hispanic workers that kind of only know how to speak Spanish. So like, I'm really getting to practice my Spanish over there. And he's like, oh, what do you do? And I was like, oh, like I do upholstery and reupholstery. And he's like, oh, like that's cool. And like we just kind of like dove in a rabbit hole of like, talking about what our ambitions are, like, what's life all about, and how things are changing. And I was telling him, I was like, yeah, like I dropped out of grad school because like my focus and my passions changed. Like I still want to do things in design, but like this is what I really want to focus on. He was like, yo, dude, like I totally get, like you just gotta hustle, like be out there, like do these things these side hustles as you like do your main job. Like don't like quit, and kind of like a Gary V aspect of it. He was like, don't fucking quit your day job just so you can start a new company. Like stick to your regular 40-hour job, do the other stuff 20 hours out of the week, and then as time goes on and that builds, then you can like flip it. That can be your part-time, it can be your full-time, or just have that be your sole thing. But I was like, yeah, like I do upholstery, that's like my second job. And then I was telling him that I thrift and flip, and he was like, dude, you're already doing it, you're already there. And it felt good because it's just that like that sense of validation, and like then I know like I'm going on the right track. Because he was also saying how a lot of graduated college students have a lot of entitlement like riding on their back and putting it on their degree. And he was like, when he was in school learning IT and programming, he was like, like yeah, I still had fun, yeah, I still went out, but at the same time I was just grinding at like instead of just going to my classes. He was saying how he would work for companies for like really cheap, or like nothing at all, just because he wants to get that exposure. And he was like, by the time I graduated, I had like 2-3 years worth of experience. And instead of being like, oh, like I want this entry position job like at 50K, you with no experience, like I'm coming in 2-3 years with like connections and like networking. And then people are going to be like, well, I'm going to pick you over this person because like we know you put the work in and we know what you're about. And then he was even saying, he was like, that even still gives you an advantage if you're like you're trying to go into an entry level job, and like they're only paying 47. But like if you're being entitled and be like, well, I think I deserve more than that, like the person who's willing to grind and work start at the 47 because he knows he can work their way up, or she works their way up, like they'll take that 47 and like, fuck you, get out of the way, like I'm here to work. you know you just gotta work up the ladder. But it was really nice, and it's really interesting, kind of is like a law of attraction type thing, where the things that you're focusing on and the thing that like you're really like pointing to, everything is kind of like a magnet, like just like everything just coming to you. And it's just nice. It's just feels good knowing that what we're doing has like kind of like this big payout that's starting to you know
Well,
come
speaking
back,
of
loop
what we're
back to
doing,
us.
having a big payout, I mean, I just recently had that meeting with, I talked on a couple episodes prior about a certain job opportunity that would have been very nice to have, and I got turned down from the job opportunity at first, but then I had the opportunity to meet with this person and talk about what qualifications I would require to get in on the next year of rehiring. So I told him, I broached the subject about us, Eddie and I, and that we have a podcast together and a show that I produce every week. And he, gravitated towards that. And then I told him about Eddie and I's flipping competition, and he said that I should document that. And so I've started taking like selfie videos of myself going out and kind of trying to construct a show slash documentary around that. And the clips that I make, or I haven't made clips in a while, so I should start doing that. But basically, just exercising my editing muscle and showing him that I can edit, and the creativity of that editing and stuff like that, and that I can leverage that into a portfolio. Because before, I was always thinking like it would have to be a movie or something I would make, and then it's like, but the process of making that movie would be so hard. Oh, what's the point of even trying? And then next thing I know, I have like no portfolio. I have no demo tape. I have no reel to show. However, every week I'm producing, an hour long, for the most part, just under an hour long show. And, you could say, well, it's just like a video recording and a couple mics and you don't really put much graphics on it. But when the opportunity serves us, I am putting graphics up and I can make clips out of this. So right now I'm creating my own value. I'm creating my own wealth and job experience by just talking to my buddy. Even if nobody watches the show, I can still cut it up in a way, slap a clip together, show someone, and say, look at what I can make from sitting in my room talking to my friend for an hour. Now, if you hand me other footage, you know you can trust me. You know I can make something out of that. And that's why Eddie and I are going to make a show about him making furniture, and I'm putting this on record so that I can be held accountable.
You're holding me accountable.
Yeah,
now.
because Eddie is, showing interest in this, but I really, really want to make the show with him, where Eddie works on a piece of furniture and talks about his life and furniture and design and things that he loves and things that interest him, and have him waking up every day excited to go and upholster and reupholster and work on design.
Dude,
and I've seen your drawings, dude. Like, you definitely want this, and I want you to want this.
And I definitely got to get back into drawing too, because like I'm getting better at it, and it's not about producing the best sketches out there, because there are a lot of designers who they aren't the best at drawing, but they understand the vision that they're trying to go for. So it's about not being fucking scared. That's the big thing. Today a friend of mine, she texted me and she was like, oh, like my brother needs his car seats reupholstered. I've never reupholstered a car seat before, and so I was like, you know what, just fuck it. Like I'm starting to be less scared of just saying yes and just taking those opportunities, because there you are gonna fail one way or another. Sooner or later it's gonna catch up to you. But it just you can't let those losses like deter you, or the anticipation of losing deter you from taking a chance on something. And then after that, after we like finished texting back and forth, I was like listening to another motivational speech, and then it like clicked in my mind. I was like, why don't I just like watch a video on how to reupholster a car seat? And honestly, like it was kind of a speed through, but it was literally the same thing as you would do to any regular piece of furniture.
I would imagine it's almost like even easier, because these are mass produced, mass manufactured like items, so there must have some kind of and this is me speaking out of my ass, just like the thinking about it, like if it's mass manufactured and it's on like a manufacturing like what's the word I'm looking for, assembly line, then it must have like components that are pretty like easy to undo and redo. Yeah. As opposed to like a handcrafted piece of furniture.
Easy to disassemble and whatnot.
Yeah. I don't know. I always think like when I think of a car,
I mean, unless it's like you're working with car interiors, like fucking Rolls Royces. Then I cannot say that.
Then you can't worry about failure, because then you need to scoop that bag up from whoever
right?
can afford a
or
Rolls
like
Royce.
Audi or BMW with like the fucking like interior leather is like really nice, and it's patent leather.
Ferraris. Oh, I saw a Ferrari the other day, dude.
Like that would be nice to work on.
I never really understood cars and people, car guys and stuff, because most of your day you're spent looking at fucking Civics and Elantras and shit, but when a nice like Porsche Panorama pulls up, or like a Ferrari, like some dude, I was going to breakfast with my girlfriend this morning, and this guy pulled out in like a early 2000s or like a late 90s Porsche, like a silver Porsche, and it was just nice. The design that these people put into these high-end luxury vehicles, it really just makes you appreciate that someone actually designed it. Because you're looking at a bunch of garbage box trucks with four wheels all day, pretty much, and then you see this piece of art pull up in the parking space, and these are gorgeous. But yeah. The Yeezy shoe dropping 2040, or the Yeezy car.
The Yeezy car.
Someone reminded me that the first episode we talked about Yeezy furniture collabs.
Overall, I feel like I'm getting a lot less fearless and more outgoing to just talking to people on anything. Like that girl we saw while we were thrifting, and she had like some good items, and I just kind of went up to her. I was like, "Oh, like do you usually thrift?"
And she clutched her purse because she thought Eddie was trying to jump her at the fucking
exactly.
checkout.
He was like, "Give me your fucking thrifts. Give me your thrift so I can flip." But yeah, because she also has some Fila's, the Disruptor 2s.
Another dad style shoe coming back into the limelight.
Those are fucking dope. I wouldn't wear them because I think they would be a little too clunky. Also, the sole is so fucking thick.
I just realized something. I hate to interrupt, but because I didn't clap to start off, and then Clover comes out.
Of course.
I realized I didn't do that. I'm gonna make a note real quick. On the time.
Hi, mommy. Hi.
Keep talking. Sorry.
But yeah, and then just being like more forward and just talking to people about stuff, and then you'd be surprised. Like, you're kind of probably like one sentence or one question away from like learning something that you're genuinely interested about, because you never know what like people are gonna know. Um, but yeah, kind of like with Raymond at work, like the hype
Bro,
beast.
you just name drop? Come on now.
Yeah, shout out to Raymond.
Stop saying his name. People are gonna know. People listen.
Whatever. Just beep it out. Oh, you got a big eye bigger.
I'll beep it out, I suppose, or I won't. That's fine too. But yeah, he's pretty cool.
Anything else?
I'm just fucking exhausted. I'm sorry, man.
That's cool.
No,
No,
I was
I'm
just-
also tired, dude. Okay, so
Oh,
let's
man.
get into it because
We're off, man. My schedule's just off.
it's fine.
It'll
It's
be
fine.
back to.
I'm doing a 30-day workout challenge where I do some type of physical activity for 30 days in a row, and I'm on day 4 right now. And I go through this like waves of like, why the fuck did I do this? And like, oh, I can't wait to go to the gym. Like, I should really quit this. Like, no, like I'm putting it on Instagram. Everybody knows I'm gonna quit. But yeah, I'm on day 4 out of 30. Honestly, it feels like you're kind of like, I feel like I'm gonna blow right through it too,
There you go.
because I have no excuse not to go to the
yeah,
gym.
because you keep posting every day.
That, and then also it's just all the excuses I used to, because when I would come home from work, I'm like, yeah, like I'm tired, and like, oh, like my hip is hurting a little bit, and like, oh, I got like these things to post on eBay, and you kind of just start making all these fucking excuses. But then now is like, I got to, because like I have to do this. You
Yeah,
know? You're
actually-
setting deadlines and like a criteria for you to complete.
Yeah. Speaking of like, no excuses. I had a bit of a sting that kind of woke me up to, and I'm actually gonna touch off on 2 different stories on this one. But the basic premise of these stories is, you gotta, sometimes as a grown up, when shit hits the fan, sometimes you just gotta fucking. Or I guess it's like a lesson in me growing up, right? So here's one of them was that, ever since I left high school, I never really had a permit. I had a driver's permit, but then it expired when I went to Germany to study abroad, and then I came back, and it was expired by the time I got back. But I was like, what? I'm going to Boston. I'm going to the city. The T, it's got all the transportation I need.
The T is my car.
Pretty much, right? And I was like, well, why go out and get a permit? Why even go out and get a license if I know I'm just going to be in the city for 4 years? And then I stay in the city for 4 years. I never need my permit. I never need a license. Postgraduate, this opportunity I told you about in the last podcast about a summer camp in California. Really great opportunity. It would have been awesome to just have that month, go experience California, put another piece on my resume of like a leadership position, and it would look great for my career. Then it gets down to that they require a driver's license, a valid driver's license for applicants. Stop it, Clovey. I know there's other people's shoes. But I thought, okay, it's just for background checks. I'm sure they'll take a state ID. I have a phone interview with these people. It goes really well. It goes amazing. I'm a strong candidate, and it's looks like it's going to work out. Looks like I'm going to California. And then it gets to the part where it's like, okay, well, have you had experience driving large vehicles? And I realized in that moment that the your valid driver's license is not just for background checks. They need it to actually have camp counselors who can drive, because it's in California. It's driving hours to San Francisco with Sprinter vans, and I don't think I've heard back from them, but I'm more than certain that they turned me down for the position, even though in their words I was a strong candidate, because I didn't even have a permit. And so those were one of the things I said to myself, as we wind down in the end of the year, I'll get my permit. I'll at least start the process, or I'll start getting a permit. I said that back in like January. I still don't even have a permit.
Yeah, you should definitely get on that.
So I need to set a time. I need to make an appointment, go to the DMV, or since we're in Massachusetts, the RMV, get a permit, have my friend help me practice driving, and get my license, get my shit together, because that's some adult ass shit I need to get done. Another quick story about that is today I was writing a script. So I was feeling super productive. I wrote 10 pages of a script. and I was kicking myself. And this story I've been like bobbing around in my head for like a month and a half right now, and I haven't done anything to make it. And then one day I just went home and I fucking blasted out 10 pages before at night, and like before I had to go to work. And the pages were coming together. It was great. I feel really confident about it. Obviously, I have to go back and edit again, but it felt like really super good and super productive. And I'm going to sit down to do another 10 pages, and my app for this writing software keeps crashing, and I can't write a single word, and it's pissing me off to no end. And not to get too into the weeds, long story short, I need to get a MacBook for all the other reasons, confluence of reasons. I thought I was being cute by like, oh, well, I know the creative space when it comes to filmmaking uses Macs, but I can skirt the system. I can cut corners. I can get this free program here. I can get this here to supplement for this. But ultimately, in life, you can't cut corners, because you're going to start fucking cutting corners, and eventually you're just going to run out of corners to cut. Or you're going to end up with a subpar product.
Or you're going to end up with a circle. Circles don't have corners.
Exactly. And, I want to do this for a living. I want to produce shows. I want to make things. Hopefully one day be considered a writer director, things like that. But the unfortunate reality is that the creative field when it comes to filmmaking favors Mac products. And I've always been against Mac because before I couldn't really afford it, and it was kind of became like an attitude thing where it was like, I'm more of a PC person or whatever. But it's like, when your career needs you to have a Mac, you need to get a Mac. That's an investment. Going back to like episode 8 when we talked about personal investment and investing in ourselves and talking about buying spaces or whatever, like the uncomfortable reality right now, but it is going to make my life so much easier, is that I have to like put in that big chunk of money to buy a Mac. And I just got some like money that came in or is coming in soon. Plus, this has been a good month for sales, and it's been like a 3 paycheck month. So it's like, at this point, I really have no excuses. I need to bite the bullet soon so that I can get the experience. Because now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of job listings said that I needed Mac experience. Or, I have had experience with Adobe, but not necessarily Macs. So I do not want a recurring of this whole, like, well, you need a permit, you need a license, and then we can't hire you. And at that point, you can't even say, like, well, I'll go out and get it. Like, you can't just go out and get a license. You have to practice, you have to drive, and you can't just go out with a Mac and have Mac experience. You have to put in the hours of editing, having that practice on a Mac keyboard with a Mac OS. Like, I need to make that a reality soon, and I don't really have any more excuses for it. So I'm going to go to Micro Center, I think, in Cambridge on Wednesday, go talk to the guy, and basically just get the lowdown on how I can save the most money, but I'm going to have to make a big purchase on this. So picking the right machine to use for my writing and editing, and my life after that was going to become so much easier. Like, I'm creating these unnecessary obstacles just because, like, I think I can, like, skirt it, and I think I can be slick.
Skirt.
Like, we thrift and we grind and we try to cut corners. Like, you could say that we try to cut corners, like, economically, because we're trying to race to the bottom, find these thrifts and finds. But the reality of it is we're putting in real work to find this stuff. Yeah. And we show up every day. So, someone could...
I get the thrift tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. And now we're excited to go back. So it's just like, it's these shitty realities you have to face. Like, you want to be comfortable. You want to be unchanged. You want to just, like, have things the way they are. But sometimes you just have to change in order to move forward. And that uncomfortable change, it does feel uncomfortable in the moment, but you will be happy that you made that change. Just like I'm sure Eddie is exhausted and uncomfortable sometimes when he goes exercising. But he set himself to make a 30-day exercise challenge. And after those 30 days are done, he will have been appreciative for him starting that trend or starting that challenge. Just like I was super unnerved and like anxious and neurotic about writing those first 10 pages of my script. But as I started writing, things started to come into focus for me. I started to be able to write the next page faster than I wrote the previous. The dialogue started to flow a little bit better. The characters were a lot more clear to me. And some plot points actually got clarified. So just start doing the thing that you want to fucking do. And you gotta bite some bullets. You gotta take some leaps. Because it fucking...
Some leaps, fam.
Yeah, I mean, it's uncomfortable, but it started to back down. But get rid of your pride, get rid of your ego. Because I was always like, oh, I'm a PC person. Like, Macs for fucking dummies, bro. I'm a green texture for life. But it's like, All right, where is that going to get you if you need to get that Mac?
Yeah.
It's cute if you don't need to, but if you need to do something, fucking do it.
Yeah. Fun fact: everybody sucks.
Yeah.
Everybody sucks. So
Doesn't matter what
might as
computer
well
you
do
use.
it.
Yeah. It just that was the part that kind of bummed me out. But then it's like starting to realize once you accept that you can make that change, then flip the script. Don't focus on how uncomfortable it's going to be. Look at how much better your life is going to be once this change is made. Just completely disregarding the discomfort of the change. And I know people are like, oh, first world problems, you have to decide which computer to buy. But it's like, for those who are in the creative space and maybe they have like a hand-me-down computer that they've been editing on, and you realize shit's getting slow, technology's getting better, and you have to catch up, it does suck. Yeah, editing is something I would never go cheap on. You can go cheap on a phone camera or whatever, but you can't go cheap on your editing. Yeah, so, but even then, cameras and whatnot. So, I am a Mac convert. I never thought I would say that, but I'm gonna have to buy a Mac computer. Still don't want an iPhone. iPhone could fucking burn in hell.
Wow.
Catch me 20 years from now with the fucking
I
iPhone
know.
47 or whatever.
Hey guys.
Fucking green textures
So, yeah.
FaceTime all the time.
But yeah, just super excited. Like I feel like things it's catching the momentum too. You know,
I feel that.
You're just you just got to start walking, and then the fuck was that? So it's turkeys, man. They're getting to me.
I think it's just the wind, because you know how like when the wind starts to pick up, you hear like your like windows and doors shifting in the fucking casing.
Yeah.
And you're like, I thought that was permanent.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like again Jim Rohn. Honest to God, I can't emphasize enough. Like, watch Jim Rohn.
Does Jim Rohn have social media?
He's dead. So like, it's all his clips and recordings.
Bum 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 bum.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a genuine surprise when you
Yeah.
said he's dead.
He's dead. Yeah, he
That's-
died back in like '08. But
Okay.
his recordings and his speeches and his lectures are still up on YouTube.
To the Rohn family, my condolences, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to josh on this dead dude, but
Yeah.
you know, you know,
And,
respect, rest in peace, bro.
but he was like,
He got out right before the housing crisis.
I know, right? Shit. He was like, if you act on a few disciplines a day, like they kind of feed off of one another. It's kind of like walking around the block. Then you eat the apple. Then you get a book of nutrition. Like just in terms of fitness.
That's so true, because
you just
yeah,
gotta. And then he was like, when you do something and the emotion is hot, like just start it. Just do it. Just start it, and you just start that whole motion, because like, and he was like, if you want to read books, just buy the first book. That's all you have to do. Just buy the first book, and then that'll lead on to the second, the third, and then boom, you got yourself a library.
a library, if you actually fucking read.
A library.
A libard.
No more.
Yeah, I mean, I can't agree with that more, because I'm such a procrastinator, but the solution to procrastination,
Just fucking do it, man.
yeah. But see, then procrastinators will find a way to slow. Like, I'm a calculated procrastinator. I'll find a way to slow myself to the process of sitting down to actually type. But when I committed myself, I was like, okay, dude, like, true talk. No one's around. No one's here to be impressed. Just fucking do your thing, please. Please. When you fucking... I talk to myself a lot, but I've come to terms with it. Sometimes I'll just catch myself feeling something. I'm like, do we need to talk? Like, to myself. I'll say that. It's
Oh,
so,
really?
It's so
Like,
fucking weird. But
Can
it
you
helps.
review with yourself?
Because sometimes you're alone and it's sometimes you need to hear something out loud for it to click, and I'm in my head all the time, all day. Like, my neuroses is not really something that I expect to go away anytime soon. I've had professional help. I could get more for sure, but I've always been in with my voice. It's been such a meta thing. Sometimes I'll just like let it become a vocal thing. I'll like actually speak to myself out loud, and that'll help me realize how ridiculous certain things are, because you can hear thoughts in your head and they're abstracted through like your cognition, but then when you actually hear them in spoken English out loud, you're like, oh wait, that sounds ridiculous. So next time you think of something and you're having controversy or conflict in your life, try to have that argument out loud, and maybe just hearing that as if it sounded like it was coming from someone else will help you realize it. Because I was like, so what are we doing? Are we going to write our 10 pages or what? And I broke it down like, okay, a movie script is like 90 to 110 pages. Okay? If you wrote 10 pages a day, you'd have it done in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You say you go back for a first draft, then still in 2 weeks you still have that second draft, because on the second draft obviously the whole thing's written, you just kind of have to go back and touch things up, and then a third draft and a fourth draft. In a month you could go through 3 drafts of a script if you just start writing it. And it's proven to be true. I mean, obviously barring that conflict, I'm going to go home and edit this, and while I'm editing I'm going to write another 10 pages, because I felt so confident, and like Jim Rohn was saying, it's like striking while the iron's hot kind of deal. Because when you break it down like that, you're like, oh, like if I had to write a whole movie, how long is that gonna fucking take? Like, if you write 10 pages a day, 9 days. And I was writing 10 pages under a deadline of like going to sleep. Like at a certain point, I was like, okay, I need to go to bed because I need to wake up for work tomorrow morning. But if I didn't have work the next day, I could have banged out another 20. Because I was into it. I was so flowing with my script. It felt so good to write, and I was like, this is fucking awesome, dude. I'm such a slow typer. I'm such a slow reader. But I'm telling you, when I'm getting in that groove, dude, I'm fucking Bruce Almighty when he's answering the prayers.
Like you're still typing and drinking your coffee.
Yeah, dude. So I don't know. It felt really good, and more I'm getting those proud, happy feelings. You know, a couple episodes ago, I was like having an existential crisis. Like, do I even want to make movies? And it's like, of course I do. Like, I wouldn't be so concerned about all this stuff if I did. It's like, you know, what they say, the opposite of hate is not love, it's indifference. Or the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. It's like if you have a charged negative emotions about something, it doesn't mean that you don't want it. It might mean that you care so much about it and that you're upset that it's not turning out the way it's happening. If you're like, I don't give a second thought to carpentry. I don't love carpentry. But if my thoughts, even if they're controversial and like going back and forth, are filled with movie making and filmmaking and writing and production, maybe it's not that I don't want to do it. It's that I want to, and I'm kicking myself for not having done it or not doing it currently. So I'm on a real good track right now. I'm feeling great. I think the vibes, us, from where we started since episode 1, we're in a lot better place emotionally and mentally, and like just progress and productivity wise. I think I'm feeling fucking great, especially with our flips, that becoming a background goal that we're working on. It's honestly just like turning it back on yourself and like, oh, you can do something. Like you put your mind to yourself. You put your mind to something. You can fucking do it.
I was thinking about this the other day. So with thrifting, I had to take Clover to the vet because she needed to update it on her shots and rabies and heartworm medication, all that. Oh, preventative, not medication. She doesn't have heartworm. But the bill, and this is to my own fault because like I took her to a very ritzy ditzy like high end veterinarian.
Jewish, you can say it.
Yeah. and the bill was just under $600. But guess what? I paid all that shit out of pocket. It did make a dent.
Cue generic stock sound of people clapping.
No, but like if you want to compare me now from Eddie a year ago, I would not have hesitated to like use a credit card to pay for it, and then it would take me 6 to 7 months to pay that credit card off.
I'm real proud of you too, by the way. You showed me your balance recently. Eddie is very close to paying off that credit card.
Oh, I'm so close. This next check I'm paying it off.
Fuck yeah, dude! I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
Gonna have to get a cheap bottle of champagne to pop to celebrate.
Yeah.
Put it on the card. Wait, fuck.
Nope.
Yeah, dude, I'm so proud of you.
Just done.
Dude, where we started. Think about how much debt when we started this podcast.
Oh, I'm gonna start paying off my my private loan soon too.
Oh, I've been done paying that off. But yeah, dude, I'm so excited.
I'm not afraid of it. That's the thing. That's the exciting thing about it. It's
Poor's
like
mindset.
When you what?
Poor's mindset.
Yeah, exactly. But when you start to figure out like that this is not the only way to live, it just opens so many doors and avenues that you never thought that were there. And that's the thing about being close-minded. I think the best thing about thrifting is it just shows you anything could be valuable. You just have to, find the value in it first. Yeah.
You gotta find value in yourself, and you can flip your life around.
We're just trying to we're flipping for our lives here.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's continue on to the flips.
Okay.
The stuff that we
For
found.
sure.
Actually, because funny again, talking about the things that you focus on and like either showing up. I've been really into Reebok lately, and their shoes, I don't know what it is. I was at a cafe the other day. This girl came out with some Workout Plus shoes, and like those are some. If you ever seen them, they like have really thick. The sole kind of like comes up into the shoe, and it just kind of looks really nice and just clean. It looks like a thick ass eraser on your foot. Um, but I was like, damn, like those shoes are fucking dope. And like, on Instagram, like Reebok is starting to show because I've been searching it a lot. And when I went thrifting the other day, I found a pair. I didn't find the Workout Plus. Hopefully, I can. I'm starting to collect more beaters now, which is nice. Um, Hopefully, I can find a pair of Workout Plus or sell enough where I can just buy a nice new pair of Workout Plus. But let me show you the pair that I did find.
Might give me that clap, Eddie, please.
Oh shit!
You.
I fucking hit the mic.
Thank you. It's okay. It's okay. I'll
Yeah.
turn it down.
These are like really. Oh shit! I didn't notice these scuffs. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Honestly, like I feel like you can tell when a pair of shoes come from somebody who's a sneakerhead because these aren't that fucked up. Like these are in really good condition, minus a little bit of staining around.
Let's explain those for the listeners.
For what?
Just what you're holding.
Oh,
For the people
these
who
are a
just
pair
listening.
of Reeboks. Actually don't know what they're like called specifically.
Well,
but-
just describe it. So it's an all-white Reebok.
Yeah, it's an all white Reebok. Just it has the little Reebok sign here. It has the Reebok emblem right here
On the tongue.
on the tongue. It's just overall nice.
It's a clean shoe.
It is a clean
it's a
shoe.
clean shoe. It's
a little
nice.
dirty, but
I mean, clean like the design-wise. It's not too loud. It's not too noisy. It's clean.
also I was about to do another name drop, but a friend from work also has these pairs, so I was like, oh, that's really funny that just happened. Just to show you, like everything is connected out there. He's gotta see it.
I'll get to that in a minute, Joe. But we really got to talk about
The government. The government, Joe. The government.
Government can't run a fucking lemonade stand.
I know. But yeah, man, I'm super excited. These are in my size too, so I'm keeping these. Second pair of shoes that I found thrifting that I want, and they're in my size. So
That's size privilege, bro. I'm
I'm
a size 12.
well, it's
can't
not my
find
fault
shit in my
that
size.
like size 9.5 is like one of the most common shoe sizes
true.
out there.
You really rolled it
Um,
well on that one.
Yeah.
More shoes.
Another pair of shoes. These are the new. I feel like I'm not gonna have a problem selling these because I posted this on Instagram, and 4 people messaged me like within
Love the
an
colorway,
hour.
by the way.
Yeah,
It's a pink. It's like a rose gold almost looking. Or
definitely. Yeah, it definitely has a rose gold.
It's like a gray,
Kind
a
of
slight,
like a
like a
coral
chocolatey
pink.
brown, coral pink, and
Yeah.
like a cream white, as I call them, the Neapolitans,
Yeah.
because they look like a big old scoop of Neapolitan ice cream.
Yeah,
They're
the
sexy,
sole's a
though.
little dirty. I mean, like the undersole, but like that doesn't matter as long as it, like nothing's super faded.
New Balance is like the brand of the month coming up though, because the Boston Marathon. It's
Boston
sponsored
Marathon.
by.
Also, the collaboration with
Balance.
Network and Bodega with the 997s, the New Balance 997s. So you don't know about that, right?
I don't know about them.
Boom. Okay, another crazy thing. Okay, look, dude,
Eddie's-
I'm telling you, man. This is,
If he's not peeking, my name's not Gage.
yeah, look. Okay, so the other day too, I was thinking, like, it just kind of like flew into my head. So, name drop. Shout out to Jacob Rochester because he just did an interview with Bodega, and they featured him with the new 997s. And I was just thinking, I was like, damn, like I hope Jacob's like doing good out there. Like I hope because he's super talented. He knows like he does a lot of art. He's doing music now, and I'm scrolling through Instagram and I follow Bodega, and then I like see a picture of him, and then I didn't first thought it was him. I was like, damn, like that like looks like Jacob a lot. And then like under it was tagged him. I was like, no way. And so they did a whole 5-minute interview. So yeah, definitely go on Bodega. Look, it was on IGTV. Jacob Rochester, really cool kid, very talented. I'm happy for him. He's doing good out there.
Back to the flip of the week.
Yeah, back to the flip of the week. Just getting to the summer aesthetic. Some Tommy Hilfiger, swim trunks. These are really subtle. You got the little Tommy, the Hilfiger name right there. Then I found another higher end pair of
I'm gonna zoom in on those bonobos.
bonobos.
Oh,
Really
sorry,
nice.
wrong one. Yep, got it.
Yeah, these are pretty nice. Well, one of my favorite finds is
Eddie's always coming correct with like 8 flips.
yeah, fucking this vintage Jamaica shirt made in Jamaica. Like I don't know, this is dope. This is I know for a fact is gonna sell really fast on Depop because like people are looking for shit like this. This shirt is like surprisingly in like good condition. No yellowing on the neck. That's like a big thing too. Like when you wear clothes a lot over time, it's just that like disgusting fucking oil neck yellowing that comes on.
Yeah, I know that, dude. I had to retire one of my work shirts. I had to
Yeah.
retire one of my work shirts because of that.
Yeah. Another one. This one has a little yellowing, but I think I can just bleach it off. But it's very very light. I think Echo is gonna come back. Like I think Echo's gonna make a comeback. I'm documenting that right now.
It's like-
March 24th.
It's like an echo. It repeats
Fuck
itself.
And then this is the last thing I'll show. This is a Harley Davidson shirt. It's not vintage or anything, but Harley Davidson is always selling. I actually have a Harley Davidson mug right over
White
there.
Mountains, Harley, New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Might be a little tough. It's geographic specific.
It doesn't matter.
We'll
People
find
will still
out.
buy it.
All right, I'm gonna hand over the camera to my friend Eddie Bowie. So we're gonna start off a little light. We're gonna go. It is getting.
You did not knock it over. But
Okay. It is getting a little warmer, but I found this down puffer that I just couldn't resist. It's a reversible down puffer, which is, I guess, my new favorite item of clothing. But on the arm, it's got that Tommy block, that red-white Tommy block. It reverses into gray. It's double XL for those who are interested. But I just thought I loved the design. It was so clean because at first I just saw this red. I'm like, huh, what's that? And then I kind of moved it over a little bit and I saw that red and white. I was like, ah, so sexy. So nice.
Yeah,
I love it
yeah.
so much. So Tommy stuff. But then I was going to the checkout and I found these babies. These are, now I can't find the exact colorway, but these are Nike Air Max 90 premiums with black suede, and they have this like navy, gray, white,
Hold it straight for the camera.
black colorway. There's some significant scuffing on the heel, on the sole right there, but I'm gonna try taking it off with toothpaste. If that doesn't work, I'm gonna do a very, very what's it called? Detailed job of taking it off with nail polish remover or a diluted solution of that. But yeah, I found them for $10, and on the first day of our thrifting challenge, I have to list these. I haven't listed them yet. I still have to clean them up first. But yeah, Air Max 90s are kind of like the shoe now. It's like everyone's got a pair in so many different colorways.
Yeah, New Balance and Air Max are just popping right back up. I mean, also because they're like starting to kind of really just quicken the pace on.
Yeah. That's it for
Here
my
you go.
flips. Sorry, we should pick up.
They're just doing more collabs and more colorways, and so that's definitely like helping to revive the brand and the collection of the shoes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm just so glad that, and I think it's just the season now too. Like this year is coming out hot for sneakers. So if you guys don't follow any YouTubers, I highly suggest that you do, because there's a lot of people who have like a crazy passion for
Passion
streetwear.
for fashion.
Yeah, passion for fashion, streetwear, apparel, shoes, and one thing about the sneakerhead culture, you can tell the difference between somebody who's just in it for the resell and just kind of like the hype versus somebody who's kind of an OG sneakerhead, because OG sneakerheads will wear their shoes. They will not resell them. They like actually want to have it on their feet.
Gotta flex on,
And
bro.
not, like they will have some collection pieces that they will probably wear once or twice and just like shelf them.
Mm-hmm.
But the real sneakerheads love their shoes, and I respect that. And I think a good way to get into sneakers is to get beaters like right off the bat. So like I got those Sash shoes, and now I have a pair of Reeboks. They're already worn in. I mean, I could resell them. I mean, like those New Balances over there. Yeah, I can. They're almost my size, but I'm not gonna keep them. I'm gonna resell them. But like that's part of the culture. The culture is to flex, but wear your flexes. Don't be like, haha, I got this. Like,
Wear your flexes,
don't
kids.
be holding your fucking shoe like a phone and acting like you're making a call.
We don't call money. What was that lyric from Jay-Z's? Like, why you holding the? There's no signal. Something like that.
I don't
Making
know.
fun of SoundCloud rappers who hold money to their ear like it's a phone. It's like, we don't call that money where we're from. Also, Soldier Boy sells fake money on his website, so he flexes with fake money. Anyways, let's go to the recommendations of the week. Eddie for his book, and Gage for his
I want to burp, but it's not coming out.
movie.
Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna go for it. I actually just found it. Thrifting was really nice. It's on my list. It is the biography of Leonardo da Vinci by Walter Isaacson, who's like a great author.
Biographer?
Yeah, biographer. So I'm really excited. That book is fucking dense. It's thick. Wait, I can show it.
Ooh, she thick.
Yeah.
It's a thick book right there.
Big boy.
Ooh, Jesus, it's so heavy.
Yeah,
What
that's
the
what she said.
fuck? Wait, why is it so heavy? That's actually surprising. Oh, it's the stock. Folks, we're not dealing with regular paper pages here. This is like a semi-gloss finish stock of paper with some manufacturing issues on the middle pages, but we'll ignore that because that's a weapon right there.
Yep.
Anyways, my movie recommendation of the week. Oh, gee, even Clovey thinks it's too heavy.
Some knowledge on it.
PETA will be calling you.
Right,
My
sure.
movie recommendation of the week is... Honestly, don't know. I'm gonna say Get Out, just because I'm reaching for one right now. I just saw Us. It did not live up to what I thought it was gonna be, but it was still a very interesting vision of a movie, and it made me miss Get Out when I saw it and the hype of that. So Get Out. No, I mean Get Out. We're done. But,
Yeah.
this is Gage signing off.
This is Eddie signing off.
This has been Two Boys Podcast.
Boom.